he's 10 pounds heavier than he was at the Olympia.
What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So guys, channel membership is now live. Link is in the description and the first comment. Do check it out. That would really help support the channel. So let's start this video with Martin Fitzwater. Now we don't really have a physique update from Martin, but thanks to Fitzwater, who had this inside information on how Martin is looking at about 3 weeks out, or a little more than 3 weeks out, of this upcoming mighty Pittsburgh Pro. Now I know some people out there are gonna say that Martin is sponsored by Hosstile, so they are trying to hype him up. Now this won't exactly be fair to Martin, because I think we can all agree no amount of hyping any athlete out there would play any role in helping him place top 4 in the world, and that too on his first try at his Olympia debut.
Martin looks outstanding.
Yeah.
Like he's show ready, like glutes stripped out, like it's only his skin looks like it's paper thin already. And he's 10 pounds heavier than he was at the Olympia.
What are they, 3 weeks out this week?
3 weeks
just
out
under 3?
Yeah.
Martin earned the respect by showing up at his all-time best, and just look at some of the names that he was able to beat last year. Andrew Jack, Hunter Labrada, William Bonac, and the list just goes on and on. Now there hasn't been a lot of talk regarding Martin. The media has all been focused on Derek versus Nick Walker, when Martin can easily shock the entire bodybuilding world in 20 days time. Now we got to see Martin standing right next to the reigning Miss Olympia, Samson Dauda, at this past Detroit Pro, and even at 6 weeks out, his waistline looked insanely small, and he was bigger everywhere, except I'm gonna say the back, which he has already addressed, that he was having some mobility issue, and that is why he could not properly open up in that one pose, the back double biceps. So if his aesthetics are just the same as they were last year, or maybe who knows, they're even better, and he comes in 5 to 7 pounds heavier with that same Olympia conditioning as last year, I believe he's gonna be a problem. Now realistically speaking, if Derek shows up the same way he did for this past Arnold, no one is beating him. But Martin, we all know, is gonna be extremely determined to take out the mutant Nick Walker, because if he does that, that will just take his stocks to a whole new level. Guys, we have a limited time offer. If you buy any flavor of Bloodshot, you are gonna get a free Dying Breed t-shirt. The discount code is on the screen right now, and use the code FAZI10 to get 10% extra discount. Next up, we have an update from the former men's physique Olympia champion, one of the greatest of all time in that division, Jeremy Buendia, the only man out there who has won that men's physique title a record of 4 times. So after recovering from that injury last year, the Arnold Ohio this year was supposed to be his first show of the year, and maybe his last show of his career. But the man delayed his competition plans, and now he announced that the Olympia this year, that is gonna be the end of the road for Jeremy Buendia. As a competitive bodybuilder, this is gonna be his last show. So is the level of motivation for Jeremy Buendia the same as it was, let's say, back in 2016 or 2017, when the man was on the top? Well, not even close, as he himself said, that if the prep for any bodybuilding show out there that comes into the way of impacting his business, then that just isn't worth it anymore. And that is why it is just not realistic to expect that Jeremy is gonna absolutely smash this 25 weeks prep, and he can be top 3 at the Olympia this year. Yes, he was the most dominant champion in his prime in men's physique, but the man took such a big break from the stage and from competing, as it was 5 years long, and the division just evolved so much from 2018 to now. So Jeremy made his comeback after 5 years in 2023, and he just wasn't happy with the way he looked on the stage, and as for him, that was a misspeak. But that being said, this is definitely gonna create a lot of hype and a lot more business opportunities for Jeremy Buendia, expanding his brand, which probably is the major reason for him having a final go at the Olympia anyway. The depth and the detail on Terrence's quads, they are painting a great picture on how ready this man is at 20 days out of his comeback show, which is gonna be the Pittsburgh Pro. Now it is so crazy to think that Terrence is nearly show ready, and the man is still progressing in terms of his lifts in the gym, while maintaining his strength in the others, if not going up. Now this is the main reason why he got to keep most of that hard-earned muscle that he was able to build in this very long off-season. Now we have no idea whether he would still have taken the year off if it wasn't for his elbow problem, because that played a major role in him deciding to skip the Olympia last year, despite qualifying. But looking back now, and all the improvements that he has been able to make in this past 1 year, that time off, that was well worth it. And now all Terrence has to do is to show up in a superb condition, which he should, because the man is already looking so ready, and also ready to make a big statement at this upcoming Pittsburgh Pro. So the other highest placing guy at this year's Pittsburgh Pro is gonna be Josama Beast, who was top 6 at the Olympia last year. But Terrence is a 2 times Arnold champion, a 2 times runner-up at the Olympia, and the current physique, that is just way far ahead of what we saw when he won the Arnold. So in an ideal case scenario for Terrence, this should look like a clear-cut win in 20 days time at this year's Pittsburgh Pro. Now on a separate note, can the range of motion in the leg press get any deeper than that, than what Terrence is showing us in this clip? Can this guy Ali Edward be the dark horse in the men's open bodybuilding this year? Well, lots of people out there have forgotten about him, as he did Dubai Pro last year, and he finished in the top 5. And the man has once again announced that he's gonna be doing Dubai Pro this year again as his first show of the season. And this guy has put on some serious size in the past 1 year. Now we all know size rules open bodybuilding all day every day, but when that size is combined with top tier aesthetics, like the ones Ali Edward has, that's a deadly combination. Now even last year at Dubai Pro, Ali looked exceptionally well, but he just did not have enough size to stand next to the likes of Rubiel, Nathan, Barostabani and William Bonac. Now, the man looked massive in the off-season, and he has just got those incredible round muscle bellies, a very 3D looking overall physique that makes him very special. So initially he was supposed to compete in FIBO this past weekend, but I guess he had some visa problems, and that is why he looks so damn lean with another 10 weeks to go. Now we cannot expect him to win Dubai Pro, because that is Barostabani's show to lose. But let's just hope he does multiple shows this year and he qualifies for the Olympia so that we can see him with the best of the best in the world. The bodybuilding world just needs to see more of that on the stage, because that is gonna be such a treat for all of us bodybuilding fans. Now you do not see this guy feature a lot on the bodybuilding media. I think that physique is world class, but really underrated. So how excited are you guys to see Stefan Matala make his debut in the men's open bodybuilding later this year? So he just keeps on getting bigger and bigger. But at the same time, he has been able to stay very sharp and very lean all throughout this off-season. So 280 pounds is a lot of weight, especially for a guy with that kind of height. But Stefan seems to be managing that pretty damn well. So he's supposed to make his pro debut in the men's open at France Pro this year. So he still has got a few months of off-season left before he has to start dieting down. Now we know the men's open bodybuilding is a very difficult class, especially for a guy who's making his transition from classic into the men's open. There is a vast difference in density and overall mass between the men's open guys and the guys in classic. That being said, Stefan is a very special talent, and regardless of where he places at his men's open debut, this physique will be miles better and ahead in terms of the overall development, and I'm gonna say in terms of the beauty and the aesthetics as well, compared to what we saw from him in Classic. Simply because in Classic, he was being forced to come in super flat and downsized, and at the same time making him lose a lot of his wow factor that he always had when he was 4 weeks out, compared to his stage look. So the back was the main area which was kind of lacking for Stefan when he was competing in Classic. So just imagine him showing up 15 to 20 pounds heavier with that same kind of condition that we saw from him at Portugal Pro last year. That will be so damn epic. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.